This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so we'll be starting our next topic, that is subcontracting. Okay, the topics that we are going to cover, they are procurement process with subcontracting, components required for subcontracting to the subcontractor and its setup, post goods issue for a subcontracting purchase order, post goods receipt for a subcontracting purchase order, and effects of goods receipt. These are the topics we'll be covering in the subcontracting. Okay, so first we'll understand what is subcontracting. Subcontracting involves providing your vendor with components from which he manufactures a finished product. Sometimes what happens is, in your organization, due to various reasons, you will not be able to manufacture a product. So during that time, you will give the raw materials, components to the vendor. Vendor will manufacture the product and he will give the manufactured product back to you. In normal purchasing cycle, what will happen? You will directly order the material, but here you will give the materials required to the vendor and he will manufacture the product and he will give it to you. So that scenario is called as subcontracting. Okay, your enterprise places a purchase order for the finished product with the subcontractor. Like in your organization, there may be a machine or there may be a capacity constraints. Okay, due to various reasons, you may not be able to manufacture the product. Okay, that time you will ask the vendor supplier to manufacture the product, but you will give the raw materials required for production to the vendor supplier, which is called subcontracting. The components required by and subsequently provided to the subcontractor to manufacture the ordered product are listed in the purchase order. I will show you that. Okay, the components are determined via bill of material. I will show you this. I'll show you this in the system. In subcontract order processing, the vendor receives the materials, components with which it produces the end product. Okay, so this is subcontracting. So what happens is, here is you create a purchase order. Subcontracting purchase order. In the purchase order, you can see all the components. Now your vendor will wait for the components. Okay, then you issue the components to the vendor. Provision of components. You issue all the components. You send all the components to the vendor. Vendor supplier will produce the material. He will produce the ordered material, and then he will send the produced material to our premise, our plant. Good receipt. You will do the good receipt. After that, you will make the invoice verification. You make the payment to the vendor. Okay, so here there is a one step extra here, which is issuing the raw materials to the vendor. That is what the extra step. So these are the phases in the subcontracting process. Okay, so basically, when you are creating a subcontracting purchase order, you will select the item category as L. Once you select the item category as L, system will automatically read the BOM of that particular product and it will copy to the purchase order. So in the BOM, you have these components. So these things will get copied to the purchase order automatically once the moment you use item category as L. Okay, so this we will see it in the system. So let's start creating the subcontracting purchase order. First, I will put in a notepad file. Step 1, create subcon purchase order. Okay, subcon purchase order. Okay, so let's start creating it. Before that, we will take a product. I'll log on to the system. Okay, so I'll take a product which is already available in the system. Plant is 1000. Material type FUT. I'll take a finished product. Okay, QM user execute. So I'll take this product, Pepsi bottle 1 liter. Okay, I'll check the BOM of this particular product. Okay, the BOM, to check the BOM of a product, the transaction code is CS03. CS03. These BOMs will be created by PP team, PP module team. Okay, so enter the material, enter the plant, BOM usage, you give it as one. So here, if you see the first one, if you select, go to items. So to produce this product, you need these materials: Pepsi bulk solution, bottle cap, empty bottle. Okay, so I'm trying to show this one. I don't know any of you are working for beverage industry. You know this Pepsi, right? Pepsi bottle. If you go to images, see this one. We are talking about this one. To produce a Pepsi, this thing, you require a cap, you require an empty bottle, and inside you require some solution. So that is a bomb. So to produce this product, you need those three. That's what they maintained in the bill of material. Pepsi bulk solution, 1 liter, bottle cap. On the top, you will put a cap, that cap, and then one empty bottle. You require empty bottle. So to produce this finished product, you require these three. So they maintain it as a bomb in the system. They maintain already it as a bomb. Okay. So now we will create the subcon purchase order, subcontracting purchase order. You will use item category as L. That can be done. So if you take this material, if you take this material, you can create the subcon purchase info record. Try to recollect our purchase info record classes. So if I go to M11, create info record. See here you have 4 categories: standard, subcontracting, pipeline, consignment. Standard one, which already we discussed during our subcontract source of purchase info record. That time we discussed the standard one. Now we will create a subcon info record also. You can create if you want the price to come automatically in the purchase order. So enter the vendor. Let's take a vendor. What's a vendor? Select a vendor. Okay, let's say I'll take this vendor, Plus Chemicals Private Limited, 100649. So for this vendor and for this material in the purchase organization and in the plant, I'm creating the info record. Material not maintained by purchasing. Just 1 minute. Just 1 minute. Purchasing view is not maintained. I am maintaining the purchasing view. Just 1 minute. I am maintaining the purchasing view. Okay, just 1 minute. Okay, I maintained the purchasing view. Okay, now let's create the purchase info record, subcon purchase info record for this vendor, for this material combination. Enter. Okay, it's okay. PC, go to purchase organ. This already we discussed. Plant delivery time, let's say 4 days. I'll maintain the price. Let's say let's say vendor is charging 12 INR per bottle. Okay, purchasing group. I'll enter the purchasing group. Done. So we are creating purchase info record with category subcontracting. Okay, done. You can enter conditions already we entered. That's okay. Now go back. I'll enter some text. This is created for. This is created for weekend training. Weekend training by Vinamurthy. Okay. Okay. So go back. Now save the purchase info record. So you have that option of creating the purchase info record. If you don't have this purchase info record with subcontracting, in the purchase order you have to enter the price manually. That's all. Okay. So now let's create the purchase order. First step, create subcon purchase order. ME21N. ME21N. Okay. Enter the vendor. What was the vendor, Baba? What was the vendor? This is a vendor. 100649. Enter the vendor number. Okay. Enter purchase org. Purchase organization is 1000. Purchasing group. Company code is 1000. Enter. Done. Now you enter your material. Now before that, you have to select item category as L. Item category as L. Subcontracting. Here you are able to see L. Double click. We have selected item category L. Okay. Now enter your material. What was the material? This is a material. Okay. Now let's say I want to procure 100 pieces. Okay. Plant is 1000. Enter. Okay. Done. Your price has got copied from the purchase info record automatically. No need to enter that. Okay. So now if you go here, the most important thing you need to understand is when you are creating a purchase order, subcon purchase order, system will read the BOM of that product and it will copy to the purchase order. In the purchase order, you can see that data. Okay, purchase order, you can see that. If you go to the material data tab, there is a material data tab. If you go here, you see there is a button has come, components button. If you click on that, you can see the BOM details. See, you see the BOM details here. Okay, you can see the BOM details. It is coming as every time 5%. Just 1 minute. Just give me 1 minute. Just give me 1 minute. Just give me 1 minute. Okay. Done. Okay, let me create the purchase order again. MB21N. Okay, enter the vendor. Enter. Now enter the material. 100 pieces I want to procure to this plant. Enter. So why now the price has not come suddenly?
Item category you missed, Savan. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, item category I missed, right? Sorry, correct.
Yeah.
Item category I missed. Okay, so price has come. Okay, so we are always create the standard purchase order, right? So we'll forget. That's the problem. That's okay. So your price has come. Now if you go to the material data tab, see the there is a button has come, components. So if you click on the components button, see your components has come. So system has read the BOM data of that and it will copy to the purchase order. That means here the meaning is we have to give these components to the vendor, this quantities, and vendor will take these components, he will manufacture this product and he will supply back this product. That's what we are going to do. Okay, so now go back. Now everything is ready. Everything is ready. Now save the purchase order. So we created a subcontracting purchase order. This is the purchase order number. This is a purchase order number. But let me take down the purchase order number. Okay. Now, once this purchase order is created, you need to issue the components to the vendor. Okay. The second step, provision of stock of material provided to vendor. So what you will do, we have the component stock in our storage location. That stock you will transfer to the vendor. So when you do that, the stock will move from storage location to the plant level, and in real time physically they will go to the subcontractor vendor place, but in our SAP system they will show it at plant level, not at storage location level. So when you do this goods issue, they will move from storage location to plant level. I will show you that in the system. So this is what you will do. Provision of components. The stocks you will move from unrestricted use to stock provided to the vendor, which is at plant level. The movement type is 541O. Normally one step, and you have the two step also, but normally they will use one step, 541O. Okay, so let's do that. Second step, goods issue, or I'll put it as components issue to vendor. Okay, so let's do that. This is the extra step in the subcontracting purchase order scenario. So let's go back, go to Migo. It is taking time. It's connected. Huh? Why somebody is using it, or this is a problem. Okay, so now go to Migo, select transfer posting, and option purchase order, transfer posting purchase order. See, the moment type change it to 541. Okay, so now you enter your purchase order number, okay, enter. The moment you enter, the system is reading the components from the purchase order. You will see that here. Okay, now you enter the storage location from which they are issued. Enter. Now you have to enter the batch numbers also. I'll enter the batch numbers. Just give me 1 minute. ME23. Let's go to the purchase order, go to the components. Okay, now here one more thing, what I'm trying to show is, suppose if I take one component, if I go to the MMB stock overview, MMB, enter the component plant. Now currently where is the stock is in this storage location L000. When I do the goods issue, stock will get moved from storage location to plant level. You can see that changes. I will show you that. Okay, so now let me enter the batch numbers first. This is the problem. We have the batch numbers. Pepsi bulk solution. What is a batch? Just 1 minute. Pepsi bulk solution. I'll open one more session. Okay, so this is a batch number. I'll enter the batch number here in the purchase. In the purchase order. Pepsi bulk solution. This is a batch number. Bottle cap. What is the code? Bottle cap. This is a code. So if you go to already, it's open bottle cap. This is a batch number. Okay, and the empty bottle. What is the code? This is the batch number, empty bottle. So I entered here batch numbers. So now what happens is, the stock will get moved from, you see, I'll close this. For this bottle cap, currently the stock showing in L000 storage location. Now when I do the goods issue, 100 stock will move from storage location to plant level. That's what will happen. This is what here. When you do this, when you provide the stock to the vendor, stock will get moved from storage location to plant level, and it will show as stock provided to vendor. That's what we are doing. That's what we are doing. Okay, so let's do that. Transfer posting, movement type is 4541. Check. Enter the vendor. Very good. Okay. Detail data. Partner. What is a vendor, Baba? What is a vendor? Vendor 100649, right? Take the vendor. Enter the vendor. Okay, vendor. Check. Check 3 times we have to enter. Okay. Okay, check. Everything is okay. Everything is okay now. Okay, now I'm posting this. That means we are sending the components to the vendor supplier. Now post it. Done. Document is posted. Now if you go to the stock overview, if I refresh the screen, you see the changes. I'm clicking on the button new selection. Sorry, not new selection, refresh. See what happened. From the existing stock, 100 stock has been moved to the plant level. Plant is 1000. See here you can see stock provided to vendor. Here you can see stock provided to vendor. That's what will happen. So stock will get moved from storage location to plant level. Okay, so now we have issued the components to the vendor. Done. Now vendor will manufacture the product and he will supply the product back. Now we will receive the material, goods receipt for the purchase. So our normal, same like our normal purchasing cycle. Goods receipt for the purchase order. And one more thing is, before getting into the details, you can see the stocks at vendor level using another transaction. Okay, I'll show you that. You can see that using a transaction called ME2O. You can see that using a transaction called ME2O. ME2O. This is a transaction. Stock monitoring for vendor. So what is our vendor? Our vendor is this one. So if you select this vendor, enter the vendor number, plant is 1000, provided from plant 1000. So if you execute, system will give you the stocks currently at vendor place. So just execute. See, system is showing the stocks at vendor level. These are the 3 raw materials and the 100. So this also you can see in this transaction ME2O, stock monitoring for vendor. This you can see. Okay, so now once the vendor manufacture the material, he will supply the material, we'll do the GR. So when you do the GR, when you do the good receipt, your received product stock will get updated, 101 movement will happen as usual, and the components stock will get consumed. As of now, it is showing at plant level, it is not fully consumed. It is not consumed. So when you receive the material, again the subcontracting material, your received materials GR will happen, and at the same time for your components consumption will happen. Okay, so both will happen. So let's do that. So let's do the GR now. Last step. Good receipt for the purchase order. Okay, so let's go back. Now we'll do the GR, MIGO. Now we'll select goods receipt, purchase order. Now enter your purchase order number. This is your purchase order number. Okay. Now, so before that, I'll show you again. If you go to the stock overview, I'll go to the stock overview, one of the material. Okay, see currently it is showing as stock provided to vendor, still not consumed from the system entirely. Okay, so when I do the GR, your finished product will get received and at the same time your components will get consumed. Okay, so let me do the GR. Good receipt. Lot of sessions opened. Okay, so I'm doing the GR. Enter the purchase order number, enter. So I have entered it. Pepsi bottle 1 liter, we are receiving it. Storage location, to which storage location you are receiving it, enter. It will create a batch, check. Creating batch. Okay, why it is asking the batch numbers? Pepsi bottle 1 liter. Achha. Okay, empty bottle. Let's enter the batches again. What is the one? First one? Just 1 minute. What is the first one? Empty bottle 1 liter. Okay. Yeah. Just 1 minute. 5006507. This is a problem if you have batch numbers. Okay, let's do that. 1203. Okay, enter the batch number here. 1203. And what is the next one? Bottle cap, right? Bottle cap. Bottle cap. What is the batch number? Could have put it in a Excel file. Okay, not a problem. 1818. Okay, now Pepsi bulk solution. What is the material number? Okay. This is a batch number. Okay. Check. Just 1 minute. Okay, that's okay. Check. It's okay. Now post it. Now post it. So when you do the posting, this will come into the stock. This will come into the stock. This main product and these components will get consumed. Post it. I am posting it. So document is posted. Now if you go to the components, if you refresh the screen, the stock will go now. The stock will go. See, the stock is now consumed from the system. So when you do the GR of the finished product, you will receive the material into plant, and at the same time, stock of the components will get consumed. And even in the ME2O screen, now the stocks will not be showing anymore. If you go back, if I try to execute, see, now not possible because there are no stocks. All the stocks are consumed. Now, one more thing here is, here we have the option of subsequent adjustment. That means we provided the stocks to the vendor. Now vendor informed that he consumed less stock. We provided what we provided? We provided 100. Component A 100 quantity. Component B 100 quantity. Component C we have provided 100 quantities. Correct? Now let's say in the system we consumed everything. Now vendor informed that he consumed only component C, let's say 98 only. He consumed only 98, not 100. Okay. So now at his place, what is the stock present now? Leftover present is 2 quantity. But in our system it is not showing. So for that you can do this subsequent adjustment. So how to do that is, you go to the Migo. Let's do this for what is the components, Baba? Let's go to the purchase order. ME23. Let's go to the purchase order. One of the component for we will do for this bottle cap. bottle cap we will do. Okay, so what we will do is you go to the Migo transaction again. Now here you will select subsequent adjustment. Here you see there is an option called subsequent adjustment. Enter the purchase order. Enter the purchase order. What was the purchase order, Baba? This is a purchase order. Enter the purchase order. Enter. Okay. So now open this. Now let's say this bottle cap I want to do. Okay. So put to. Let's say put to. Okay. Put to. Now here you see you have to select under delivery. Under delivery. Now when you do this, when I post it again, system will post back two quantities to the vendor level. So check. Creating batch. That's okay. That's okay. Now post it. Post the document. Now for this bottle cap, or you can enter the batch, I think. What is a batch? Or you can enter the batch directly. Why we need to create a new batch? What is a bottle cap code, Baba? Just 1 minute. Bottle cap. This is the code, right? It might be. See, this is a problem if you have batch management. Every time we have to enter. Okay, that's okay. Let me select from MMB. This is, it will have a batch number, right? So this is a batch number, right? Why we need to create every time batch? It has to create a batch. I'll enter that batch number here. Enter. Done. Now you see post. That means we provided 100. It's already posted. That means we provided 100 quantity, but vendor has informed that he consumed only 98. So leftover is present too. So that I want to capture in the system. So further we have done subsequent adjustment. So now if you go to the MMBE, again if I refresh, see again stock provided to vendor 2 has come. And even in the ME2O transaction, if you go to the ME2O transaction, enter the vendor number, plant, now execute, that component stock 2 will show. See that bottle cap 1 liter, 2 pieces it is showing. This is how you do the subsequent adjustment. Subsequent adjustment. So this is all about your subcontracting process. Here only thing is you will provide the materials to the vendor and he will manufacture the material and he will supply back. This is what called subcontracting. Okay, you will use item category L. That is about subcontracting. Okay, we are done with subcontracting. Okay, now let's start with consignment. Consignment. Okay, so let's go to consignment. Okay, vendor consignment. So the topics that we are going to cover in vendor consignment, they are, we will see procurement process with consignment, master data and settings required for vendor consignment, post goods movement for vendor consignment stock, settle consignment withdrawal, and then how to see the display of consignment stock. So these are the topics we'll be covering in the vendor consignment. Okay, so what is this consignment process? In consignment processing, the vendor provides the materials and store them on your premises. So vendor will supply the material, it will be stored in our organization, but the legal owner of the material will be still the vendor. The vendor remains the legal owner of the material until you withdraw materials from the consignment stores. Okay, so that is a difference. Even though material is present at our location, still owner of the material is the vendor only. Till you consume it. Till you consume it. You have an arrangement. Just give me. So you have an arrangement with the vendor. You have an arrangement with a vendor to supply a particular quantity of consignment material to your company. So for that you will create a purchase order. So the consignment material is still owned by the vendor until you withdraw it from consignment stores or post it to your own valuated stock. I'll show you this in the system. Okay, you settle your consignment liabilities with the vendor at set periods of time, for example monthly. So you do the settlement like every month or once in 3 months or once in 6 months or once in a year based on the frequency you set up with the vendor. Okay, so this is what called consignment. It's a one type of special procurement. So here the process flow is like this. You create a consignment info record. Okay, then you create a purchase order, consignment purchase order. You issue this purchase order to the vendor supplier. Okay, you receive, supplier will deliver the stock, you receive it. But when you receive it, system will not create the accounting document. It will go as a consignment stock. And whenever you require it, you withdraw from the consignment stock, system will create a liability. That time it will generate a accounting document, and using that you will do the invoice verification at a particular frequency. That is what called invoice verification. Okay, so this is the process flow of vendor consignment. Okay, now I'll take one of the material. I'll go to CS03. I'll take a raw material. Okay, I'll take one of the raw material. I'll take this raw material, uh, empty bottle. This raw material I will take for consignment. Okay, I'll take this material. Okay, so first is we need to create the consignment info record. Okay, so let's go back. Okay, because in the purchase order you will not have the price, so you have to create a info record. Me11, create info record, enter your vendor. This is a vendor. This is my, I'll take a new material. This is my material. I'll enter the vendor also. Just 1 minute. Vendor is, this is the vendor, and the material is, this is material is this one. Okay, so enter the material, purchase organization, enter. Now here we will select the info record category as consignment. Previously we discussed standard, and today we discussed the subcontracting pipeline. After this consignment we'll discuss about pipeline. Okay, so consignment option you select, enter. Okay, you go here, go to purchase organization data, plan delivery time 3 days. Let me enter here. It is as 8 INR per piece. Okay, so done. Conditions okay. Now go back. You can maintain text also. This is created for weekend batch by 7. Okay, I entered this thing. I show this text also. Done. Now I'm saving this info record. Okay, so we have created an info record with consignment category. Okay, done. So now let's create the purchase order. Okay, we will create the purchase order with consignment. Okay, create consignment purchase order. Okay, step 1. Okay, so ME21N. Okay, enter your vendor, enter purchaser, purchasing group, company code. Now here in the item category, now you select K, consignment. Okay, standard ones blank, subcontracting we used already L. Okay, now here for consignment it is K. Enter K, enter the material. What was the material, Baba? This is a material. Okay, enter the material. Let's say I want to procure 100 and into the plant 1000. Okay, done. Now if you see here, there is no conditions tab at all. If you observe carefully, in the item details there is no condition tab at all, and even if you see, the price is grayed out. Are you able to see? The price field itself is grayed out because at this time there is no price, nothing is there. You are just ordering the material, that's all. You are not going to do any payment to the vendor immediately. That is why the price is blank and there is no conditions tab in the item details. Here there is no conditions. Normally you will have a conditions tab here. It is not there because the item category is consignment. Okay, now check everything is okay. Now save the purchase order, consignment purchase order. So done. I'll take the purchase order number. Okay, and now let's do the goods receipt. Goods receipt for the purchase order. Purchase order. Okay, let me do the goods receipt. Okay. Now let's do it. Go to Migo as usual. Migo. Okay. Now select goods receipt, purchase order. Enter your purchase order number. Enter. Okay. See. Now we are receiving the material. Enter the storage location. It will create a batch, and of course the most important thing you need to understand is the categories. The special stock category is K. K. Consignment vendor. It's posted with 101 K. Or before that, I will go to MMB. I will go to MMB. Execute. Okay. Now you see how the consignment stock will behave. Okay. So done. Check. Of course, it will create a batch. That's okay. That's okay. Now post it. I am posting 100 consignment stock. So you do the GR. So material document posted. Material document posted. This is a material document number. Okay. Now take the material document number. If I take the material document number, you see, if you go to the material document number, display. If you go to this material document number, okay, this is my material document number. Okay, go to document info. If I go to FI documents, see, no subsequent document found in accounting. That means at this stage there is no accounting document created. That's what you need to understand. That's what you need to understand. Okay, we did this consignment stock. That is okay. We are here, right? Here. So master data we created a consignment info record, everything. Okay, we created a purchase order with category K. Now we are receiving the material. When you are receiving the material, it will be updated at storage location level, but still the ownership lies with the vendor because there is no accounting document created. Okay, so now that's why no subsequent document found in accounting. That's what. Okay, so now if you go to the MMB, you can see the stock now. Refresh the screen. See, now this is a batch number. It is showing vendor consignment with this stock. Okay. Now, even though it is present at our premises, still the ownership lies with the vendor. Now, how to see the vendor from here? Let's say this is a batch and vendor consignment, but who is the vendor? Just double click on it. It will show you the vendor. See, this is a vendor number, supplier number 100649. Okay. So now I want to consume some stock from here. This consignment stock I want to consume. So what I will do, I'll create a reservation. Let's say in my production, I require some stock. So I'll create reservation. Here, reservation. This already we discussed. MB21. I'll go to MB21. I'll create a reservation. Movement type. I'll put 201. Plant is 100. Okay. Cost center. Okay. I'll put some cost center. What was the material? This is a material. Okay, and quantity, let's say I need 50. I need 50, and batch number is, what is the batch number? Vendor consignment. This one, 1206. This is a one. Storage location. That's okay, not a problem. It will give you some warning message. That's okay. Before that, what is it? That's okay. Now, so we are creating a reservation. We are creating a reservation. Save it, post it. So reservation created. This already we discussed in our inventory management classes. How to create a reservation. So we created the reservation. Now against this reservation, we will post the stock. Goods issue for reservation. Goods issue for reservation. So that means we are consuming some of the stock from the consignment stock. Okay, so let's do that. So what I will do, I'll just go to Miko. I'll go to Miko. Okay, goods issue reservation. Against the reservation, let me do the goods issue. Okay. What was the reservation number? This is the reservation number. Okay, enter the reservation number. Enter. Okay, so now here batch everything has come. Here special stock indicator, you put it as K. Okay, consignment vendor. Done. So that means from the consignment stock, we are consuming 50 stock. Check. It will ask you to enter the vendor. That's okay. Go to detail data. Partner. Enter the vendor number. Entered it. Check. Done. Now I am posting it. So when I post it, from this 100 consignment stock, 50 will get consumed, and that time system will create an accounting document for the finance people to make the payment to the vendor. Okay. So I'll check. I'll post it. So material document posted. So now if you go to this material document, you can see the accounting document. This is my material document. Goods issue for reservation. Now here you can see the material document. So go to Miko. Display material document. Display material document, and this is a material document. Now if you go inside, if you go to document info, FI documents. See, now the accounting document got created. Previously, when we received the stock from the vendor, consignment stock, that time there was no finance document, no accounting document. But here now, as we consumed it, now the liability has been created for the vendor. Now after this, what they do is they periodically they do the settlement. Now they do the invoice settlement for the vendor. So the transaction code is MRQ. This is a special one. Normally you will not do through Miro, you will do through settlement through this one. So you enter the company code, you enter the plant, you enter the vendor number. What was the vendor number? Vendor is this one. Vendor is this one. So select, take the vendor. Okay. Now first let's display. Remove the consignment indicator. Sorry, consignment select. You remove pipeline. You remove pipeline option. Now execute. See, this is the document. This is the document. Quantity is 50. So this much of 400 INR we have to settle to the vendor. As of now, it is not settled. As of now, it is not settled. Just we are in the display. So to settle it, just go back. Now select the option display. Settle. Sorry, processing is settled. Okay, now you do execute. There is some error has come. No tax information is found. See, and one more thing here you need to understand is from where how system is picking up this amount. This amount is picking up from your info record. We created an info record, right? There we maintain the price. We maintain as 12, I think. 12, I think. So 50 into 12, correct? 50. Sorry, let's take a calculator. 50 multiplied by 12. I'm not sure how much I made. Just 1 minute.
You maintain 50 into 8, 400.
Correct. So I'm if you go to display info record, go to purchase organization that I maintained 8. So 8 means 50 into 8, 50 multiplied by 8. So 400. System has taken it because in the purchase order there is no price. In the purchase order there was no price. So from where system is picking up the price? It is picking up the price from info record. That is why info record is mandatory in case of consignment. Info record is mandatory. If you don't have info record, then during the settlement it will become a problem. Okay, so that's okay. Now the question is, here you are getting a message, no tax information found. Why you are getting this information means in the info record I have not maintained the tax information. So let's maintain, we have not maintained this tax code. So let's go back, let's go to change mode, enter, go to purchase or data. Here I'll maintain some tax code. Okay, let me maintain as input tax of 10%. I maintained it. Now save it. Now let's do the settlement again. So periodically they do that. See, I consumed only 50. Let's say in 1 month I consumed 50, 10, 20. All those documents will come here. As of now we have only one. That's why it is showing only one. Okay. Now go back again. Again we do the settlement. Okay. Now execute. It will get settled. See, document created. There will be an invoice document created for the finance people, and using that they will make the payment. That they will take care. This is the document number. So consignment settlement will happen through this transaction, MARKO. Okay. So with this, we have done the transfer posting, we have done goods issue, we have done, and we have done the settlement by using the transaction MRKO. Periodically, like once in a month or once in 6 months or once in a year, they will do the settlement. As per the goods issues, they do from the consignment stock to our consumption. Whenever you do the goods issue, the liability will get created. All those things they will settle periodically through MRKO transaction. So this is the vendor consignment. Okay, so we are done with vendor consignment. Now the last process is the pipeline process. We will discuss the pipeline. With that, our all special procurement types will get completed. Okay, so let's take the pipeline material process. Okay, so pipeline process, the topics that we are going to cover, they are, we will see procurement process with pipeline material, settings required for pipeline process, post goods movement for pipeline stock. So these are the ones we will be discussing. Okay, so pipeline means pipeline material is a material that flows directly into the production process from a pipe, or for example like oil or another kind of conduit like electricity. So some materials which you always directly consume from a pipeline like water, oil, electricity. So for those kind of things, you will use this pipeline process. Unlike consignment material, pipeline material doesn't have to be required via purchasing. So here there is no purchasing. You cannot create every time purchasing. Okay, you keep on consuming continuously as and when required. Okay, so pipeline stock is not stock that is physically available in your warehouse. It's not physically available. Electricity is physically available. Oil or water, you will directly consuming from the pipes. So for that kind of scenario, you go for pipeline process. Material from the pipeline is always available and can be taken from the pipeline in any quantity at any time. So for this kind of scenario, you will not be creating any purchase order. You will not be creating any purchase order. You will directly do the consumption and then you will settle it periodically. So like say example is for the production process of a material. Just 1 minute. Okay, so the example here is for the production. So for the production process of a material, you need cold water, which you withdraw from a pipeline on the shop floor. This water consumption is settled regularly with the water company. This is the example. You continuously consume the water, and periodically, like every month, you settle the price with the, you make the payment to the vendor. So that kind of scenarios you go for this pipeline process. Okay. So the process flow is like this: you create the material, for that material with material type pipe, material master with a material type as pipe. Then you create an info record with pipeline category. Then you can maintain the source list, and as and when required, you do the post goods issue. Here there is no purchase order. Because you don't know the quantity, how much you are going to consume. So as and when consumed, you do the goods issue. Then you have the liability settlement, and then you do the settlement through that MRKO transaction. Okay, so this is a process flow. So now let's create the material master. The material type we will be using is pipe. This is the standard material type provided by SAP. So the examples are like gas, water, power. There is no inventory management, there is no physical inventory. It can be available at any time. For this, there is no purchasing and there will not be any MRP. Okay, so we will first create a material with material type with pipe. Okay, so I'll create that. Then we will we will do the remaining process. So let me create that. Okay, I'll create a material. Okay, industry sector, I'll select any mechanical engineering. Now material type, select pipe. Here you see there is a pipeline material type is there. Select views. It's okay. Basic data 1, 2, accounting unit 2, purchasing. Okay, continue. That's why there is no other views. Just continue. Plant is 1000. Okay, I will give the name as let's say cool water. Okay, by unit of measure liter. Material group, old material, like let's give it. Okay, released, done. Purchasing group, enter valuation class, raw material. Okay, I'll maintain some price here. Actually not required actually. That's okay. I'll save it. So this is a pipeline material I created. This is my material number. Go to change mode. This is my pipeline material. Okay, cool water I created. Now we need to create the purchase info record. Okay, so let's go to M11 again. M11. Okay, we are here. We created the material master. Now we are creating pipeline info record. Okay, so here you see there is option pipeline. Already we completed standard, subcontracting, and consignment. We already completed. Now we are discussing the last one, pipeline. Enter your vendor, enter your material, enter the purchaser, plant. This is mandatory because there is no purchase order. From where the price will come? In the pipeline process, there is no purchase order at all. So how system will know with what price you are going to settle to the vendor? So for that you have to create this info record. It is mandatory. Okay, continue. Okay, go to purchase order data. Enter plan. This plan delivery time also doesn't have any significance actually because it's a continuous consumption, but you can enter the plan delivery time. Now let's say per liter I am going to pay water, right? In India, water, I don't know how much it cost. Okay, let's enter 10 INR per bottle per liter, let's say. Okay, I entered that. Conditions came. That's okay. Now go back. You can enter the text also. Now save it. That's all. So your purchase info record got created for this material and vendor combination. Okay. So now once you create this one, now here there is no purchase order at all. there is no purchase order. Directly you will do the consumption. So through Migo. So take the material. I'll create I'll open one more session. Migo. Okay. So take goods issue. Okay. Other. You have to select other here. Okay. Other. Movement type, put it as 201. 201 and it is P. You have to select this one. Goods issue pipeline for cost center. Goods issue other. So you enter the material, you have to enter here everything manually because there is no purchase order here. Quantity, let's say today I consumed 100 liter. Enter. That's all. Remaining, you can enter the vendor, all those things. Partner, enter the vendor number. This is a vendor. Okay, check. Enter plant. There is a plant. Material where plant. Enter plant. Check. Account assignment requires a co-object. GL account it is asking. Let us enter GL account as 1000. No direct postings possible. Just a minute. This is the problem. Company code 1000. Finance settings has to be there in place. There is no 4000. Or I'll enter the cost center. Let's enter the cost center directly. Let's see what will happen. Okay, I entered the cost center directly. Check. There is no issue. That means here the meaning is today we are consuming 100 liter. 100 liter. Post it. Okay, so material document created. I'll consume some more quantity. Same material. Today I'll consume, let's say after next day I'll consume to 50 liter. Okay, where that's okay. Plant, enter the plant. Partner, I'll enter the vendor. Okay, account assignment, I'll enter the cost center. Done. Check. Everything is okay. Now post it. So we have two documents for the consumption. So we consumed it. Now periodically they will make this one. We posted goods issue from pipeline and then they will consume the stocks. Liability is created and they will do the posting at a periodic interval. Okay, all the goods issues they will post the consumption. Settlement, again same transaction, MARQ. Okay, consignment and pipeline. Now select this time pipeline. Deselect consignment, enter the company code, enter the vendor, plant. You can enter the material also. What was the material, Baba? This is the material. Okay, enter the material. Now execute. See, all the documents have come. We consumed first 100 and again 50. Now from the where the prices get picked up from the info record because there is no purchase order at all. So that's why it has picked up from the info record. As of now, not settled. Now go back. Let's settle it. Select the option settle. Execute. Of course, no tax information found. Again, that error will come. Obviously, I'll go to change mode. I forgot to maintain the tax code. Go to purchase order data tab 1. Tax code. You will enter the tax code. Input tax 10%. Enter. Save it. Okay, done. And now let's do the settlement again. So let's do the settlement. Now it will get settled. Just execute. Document created. This is a document created. This is for finance people. Using this, they will make the payment to the vendor. Okay, this is a document. Okay, so this is a document. Using this document, they will make the payment to the vendor. Okay, periodically. So this is how your consignment, pipeline process will work. Okay, so that's all about your pipeline. Okay,